Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Bystanders, and this is a new slasher flick coming your way from star and writer Jamie Alvey and director Mary Beth McAndrews. And this film focuses on a young woman, Abby, played by Brandy Botkin, who winds up escaping the clutches of some frat guys trying to murder her and all these other girls, and runs into a couple on their way to a wedding, and played by Alvey and also Garrett Murphy. And these frat guys get more than they bargained for, as these bystanders are a little dangerous. And this film, at just like 82 minutes long, is a lean thriller, lean slasher flick. There's certain things about it that work. It has interesting, twisted, dark perspective on an empowerment story, because you have this young woman who escapes the clutches of these murderous frat guys, who starts to get a little bit more control of the situation, and how she feels out that empowering control in the situation obviously manifests into some violent and dangerous things. And that's an interesting perspective. It's also darkly funny, as you have these two serial killers who definitely have a good chemistry with each other. You can tell, like, they're a good couple. Well, for each other. They do some horrible things. But you appreciate their dynamic. They're engaging to watch. I feel like this film really delivers on the slasher aspects. There's blood and guts and all kinds of crazy stuff everywhere. So it delivers on those beats. I do feel like the film, especially by the end, doesn't really take too strong of a stance in some aspects of, like, what are the consequences for, like, the serial killer couple, or this young woman who has, these people that they wind up murdering are detestable. But, like, are there consequences to any of this? And the film basically decides just to not deal with it, and it just kind of ends, and you're just like, okay. The first 10 minutes or so, there's some really big tension and suspense, and you're like, what's going to happen? To be honest, I went in, I didn't read the synopsis, I didn't watch a trailer or anything, I just went in blind, and those first 10-15 minutes are dark and twisted, and you're like, what's going to happen? But once it gets into settling into what the story's really about, there feels like there's a lack of tension. Because I didn't feel like at once, like, through this whole entire film, like, anything bad was going to happen to this couple or this young woman. And it kind of takes away, like, the driving force of the film or the stakes. And then it's just, like, a smorgasbord of just watching them dice up frat guys. Which, like, if you're just in it for the slasher aspects, like, it delivers. But it kind of takes away from the overall experience. I do feel like some of the performers are a little stronger than others, and some of the dialogue's a little clunky and a little cheesy, and there's an inconsistent level of acting performances in the film where some of them just come off really flat and awkward. Others make a lot out of it. Like this couple, I think for the most part, both Alvey and Murphy do a fine job of putting in a lot of charisma. There's some moments where I think specifically for the character Gray, things feel a little clunky and awkward, I think. But at the end of the day, this film works as this bloody slasher flick that's only 82 minutes and not a big buy-in. And it has some, some twisted but still effective themes about empowerment and taking control in your situation. I just feel like as a narrative, it kind of loses steam after, like, the first act, and you're kind of just along for the ride, and just watching and not feeling as much along the way. And there's some other aspects that leave more to be desired, but it's a solid, crazy flick that if you're into horror, thriller, slasher films like this, you'll get something out of it. But those are my thoughts on Bystanders. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.